We will go directly to the Honorable Tony Smith of District 2. Mr. Smith.
Good morning, Supervisor Graham. A couple things that I alluded to last time, and beginning of the year, I received several calls from a multitude of employees. Some about employment, some about transfers, demoted, and other things. And I did some investigations, and I do truly understand that we are an employer at will, at will of the administrator, but there are written laws that govern certain things at will. And I actually asked Attorney Blackman about it, but I probably should have asked also Tony Gaylor about it, because he is the city attorney. I apologize for that missed protocol. My point about at will is that we have to provide a fiduciary protection, or some type of protection, not for an administrator, but in case a mistake is made. There's a thing about if there was a retaliation, that changes at will. So with that in mind, I said, well, we have to have some balance, and that balance would be that I didn't know that certain people were terminated, and to make a policy that when we have executive sessions, that all supervisors be notified prior to terminating anybody, or actions like that. This way, the attorney can review it to make sure we're in compliance, because there are certain exceptions at will, and people work 16 years of dedication. If we don't establish some type of protocol, we won't be able to attract quality workers. So this is the thing people wanted to know about me. I said I work for the people, and I work for the employees. I want to have a relaxed and calming work environment. I don't want people to feel threatened. So this is something that I would like the board to work toward together. And this is, we would not only maintain a certain quality of worker, but we don't want to chase people away or feel people are threatened that, well, I don't want to work for Hinds County because they can fire you, they'll fire you just like that. So, I don't know, but this is the work session, and Supervisor Graham, at this point, can we make a motion on that?
No, we don't make motion.
Okay, I mean, we got to wait for the next meeting.
Yeah.
We can make a motion at the next meeting to make some minor changes in that policy.
What you can do is you can give that information to the board attorney, and they will make a determination as to whether or not there are any laws or anything that are applied to what you're requesting, and we'll go from that particular point. And if you want to put something on the agenda, as long as it meets the criteria of placing on the agenda, that's no problem.
Okay. The second thing.
Before you went, I have a comment. I'd like to make.
Hold.
The guy in the seat.
Oh, just 1 minute. Let's keep everything in order. When a person speaks, then they need to be recognized. Once they're recognized.
I have a light on down. Did you see my light?
Yeah, and now recognize you.
Right.
Okay. Now, are you finished?
Yes, at that point. I have some other topics for him, but he can respond to that.
Okay. All right, Mr. McGowan.
Okay. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Still, I do understand what you're saying about the employee. The employee would make us look good. So if we don't have nothing in place for our employee who works for us, you're right. They would try to find somewhere to go. We spend 15 to 17 hours from 1 to 17 years at Hinds County. They should be respected. And we shouldn't be just fire person, people in a ball car, houses and all this kind of etc. So we need to be a little concerned about our employees. If anything in this policy is not helping our employees, then we need to get together as a whole and do something about it. because without the employee, he wouldn't be asked counsel for his work. So, it happened some years back when they came in here and fired the whole maintenance department. And I disagree with that, but I didn't vote for it, so I'm really concerned about it. Even on this, I'm really concerned about our employee. I sit back in the past and not say nothing, but I'm going to speak out about our employee. I once worked starting at the works, at the Central Repair down there. That's where I started at, back in 1983. From being a janitor down there, from fixing tires, pumping gas, and pumping oil, to where I am now by the grace of God. So I would not stand back and let our employees be mistreated along the way. I won't come to it.
Okay. Next item, Supervisor Smith.
Okay. Mr. Dion, okay, are you? First, I want to thank you for the outstanding work that you guys have been doing. I've been driving all over District 2, and I noticed that some tree cutting, some road grading, and some other things. I'm just, people have been calling me and telling me how glad they are. So you're doing a great job, and I'm gonna go up and see the employees out there to let them know what type of job. Do we have any updates on any of the bridges? I know that we put some. Excuse me, I thought I turned that off. Okay. Do we have any updates on any of the bridges and the culverts that we were going to be talking? I know we're going to do Chapel Hill Road, but we were also talking about the St. Thomas Bridge and some other ones.
Yes, sir. The latest update on, good morning, Board. First off,
Good morning.
thank you for having me. First off, we're taking bids on Champion Hill, those inserts that we talked about, as well as the bridge.
Right.
I just recently, yesterday, received information about Montefiore Road Bridge, and I know that is in Supervisor McGowan's district.
Okay.
And I will speak about that when it's my turn to come up and talk about that.
Okay.
But we are proceeding on trying to get those things taken care of.
Okay. Did we finally get that list of, from you, to my office about the bridges that were in jeopardy or?
Yes, sir. You should have received those as well as overlay plans
For the
for
road?
your district
Okay.
as well. Yes, sir.
Okay, I've been in a lot of meetings
I understand.
this week, so I'm gonna spend some time in the office today.
I understand.
Job well done, I'm gonna tell you. You came in as an interim and you're doing a stand-up job. So I do thank you for that. And I've been down in your office and
Yes, sir.
we met and you work well with others. And I like, I'm always continue to have an open door policy. So thank you again for your work and if anything you need, just kind of, let us know.
Thank you, Supervisor Smith. We have many dedicated employees at Public Works, and they work very hard. They work after hours and in inclement weather. So I understand the concern that the board has about employees.
Right.
And when you have a good employee, you want to protect them at all costs. And I agree with that.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Your next issue, Supervisor Smith.
Do we have the Presidential Hill Creek cleaned out? Is that engine, is IMS here?
That's going to come up under, I think that's going to come up under IMS later on in the agenda, and they have an update of all of their particular projects. If you request that you hear them now, we will.
No, we'll let them wait. The final thing that I have to bring up, and is District Attorney Owen still here?
No, it's not.
Okay. We had a program, and we had put it into the budget of this year called the Hinds County Reentry Program.
That's not on the work session.
I actually had it down here. It was, well, I was told that I could speak on it, but it was written in on mine. And said I'll reserve it to the next meeting.
Okay. Thank you very much. We will now go to the Honorable Supervisor Deborah Dixon of Torrey, District Clerk.
Thank you, Mr. President. I don't know who particular will have to speak on this matter. I don't know what the county administrator. From the last meeting, we voted on the minutes from December. Is it you who will have to speak on the minutes from last week?
It would be the Chancellor Clerk who takes the minutes for the Board of
Okay,
Supervisors.
so then, would you come and speak on the minutes for last week that we voted on December the 4th? I thought that the young lady from Mike Esker's often talked on it because she can't, is she here?
She's
out sick.
Okay. So, but I would like for us to read the draft of the minute that she came for the board last week and asked us to vote on the minute. So can you explain that to me, Ms. Thompson?
I don't have a list with me. Normally she will present the list and give it to us, but I don't have it with me today.
Okay, we just discuss it when she come back then.
Yes, ma'am, that'll be fine. Or we can get the list from her to make sure you get everything and submit it to you.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Continue, please.
Okay, also, the Public Work Department. Leroy, okay, which one of y'all have a fixing here? Was it Leroy or
Which building were you referring to, Supervisor?
Public Work building on Spring Ridge Road, would that be you or Leroy?
That would be Mr. Lee.
Okay, Lee, will you come, Pacific?
Good morning, Board President and other supervisors.
Mr. Lee, I would like to discuss what we need to do to get together to fix that public work building on Spring Ridge Road. We got a lot of buildings of the county need to be fixed, so do you know what's the status on that building? It's a building on the back of Spring Ridge Road, that's one. Can you tell me?
Okay, are you referring to the one that's where the maintenance team
The
is there or
house
public works?
behind, not the front, the one behind.
Okay. Okay, go ahead with your question, because I'll investigate once I leave here to see exactly which space you're referring to.
Okay, but then we'll just talk about it at the next meeting, and I'll get a chance to get with you so we can see what it's gonna take to fix, work on that building, fixing that building. And I also referred when we was here last week for you to work on the lighting up here, and I see it still is the same. So can you give me the status on that too? Will it be fixed next week?
Yes, let me get with you on that, and we'll follow up on it.
Okay, because I had requested last week.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
All right, the next item on your agenda, the attorney is requesting we take that up in executive session. Do you want to take it up out? Okay, go ahead, continue.
I would like for the parking garage department to come and explain to us what we took up last week. And I do know with the state statute, when you can explain the state statute for the parking garage, because the state gave 20 million. In 2023, y'all pulled 15 million. And can you explain to the people what you did with the 15 million? Because last week y'all came back and requested 5. So can you explain the 15 million in 2023? As the state legislator gave to the county for your parking garage, can you tell me what all y'all complete?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, before you start, state your name and who you're with.
This is Jason Watkins, and I'm with Fonder's Garage LLC.
Okay, continue.
And I'm David Farr, also with Fonder's Garage. Good morning.
So,
I also think that we request for y'all also to give us a card, a business card, and I don't think, I haven't received it, one haven't received it, so we do need your documentation to a business card.
Sure. Yeah, I've got cards I can give you today. So I'd like to clarify that, so what you said first, $20 million was authorized by the state. That's correct. when we initially priced out the project, for a 500 car parking garage and everything it was going to take to build that, we hoped and we thought that it could be built for 15 million. And so all we did of that $20 million that was originally allocated, we just asked for that 15 of that 20. So that's what we did previously. As time has gone on, as we've gotten into the project further, there have been some things we've realized, and the cost will exceed $15 million. And so it was determined that we needed to go ahead and access, or have ability to access the remaining $5 million the same authorized. Even though hopefully we won't spend all that, we just want to do this one more time so it's covered. Now, that does not mean we've spent $15 million. To date, the project has spent approximately $6 million. We just have gotten in more information from the contractors about some soils and some serious cost inflation, and that's what last week's vote was more about. But to date, we've only spent $6 million, so there is still $9 million sitting in the account to be spent on the project before even that additional 5 would even need to be accessed.
Well, the reason why I asked, because if that $20 million, if y'all don't pay it back, we kind of have to pay it back. So I would like a breakdown of the $6 million that you already spent, so I would know exactly, because we would have to pay that back, that $20 million, upon the state statute. It's a state law. It's in the bill.
Sure, yes, certainly. Yeah, we're happy to give you a breakdown.
So since you only got 15 million and you spend 6, I'm trying to figure out why would you come right back and request for 5 more?
Because we got, because we're knee deep in construction right now, and when the contractors came back to, our general contractor came back to us, that they were originally building the project based on certain estimates, but as some things changed with some siding of the garage and the architectural aspects changed. In the meantime, inflation has just been run away, of course, as everybody's seen. And that resulted in the building just costing more to build. And so we know that's set, and we had to lock in those prices so they wouldn't go up any further. And it was just necessary to go ahead and have the funds set aside that we're actually going to need, so we don't have to stop construction and remobilize construction crews and things like that.
Okay, now, are y'all requesting some more money from the state this session?
No, we're done.
Okay, hold on, Barbara, do you have a statute on that leave?
No.
Okay, that's it. Okay, now, so you're gonna give all the supervisors the breakdown of what you just said?
Yes, ma'am. And actually, we submit monthly draw requests where we submit attached invoices to everything. So it's been documented along the way, and we're very happy to present all of that to you.
Okay, I mean the 5 supervisors, not all just attorney, because we need to be involved too.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
Is there anything else, Supervisor?
That's it at this particular time.
Okay, we now move to the Honorable Vice President Wanda Edwards, that's the District 4. Supervisor Edwards.
Good morning. First of all, I would like to have Deanna Quinn come up again. I know that we have been discussing the illegal dumping and cleanup on Raymond Road, and I just need an update on what is going on with that.
Good morning, Supervisor Edwards.
Good morning.
Actually, we're out there this morning.
Great, I'm in the right out there and see.
We're out there in cloudy weather.
Okay.
And that's an example of how dedicated the Public Works Department is. We work shorthanded, however, we do our best to get the job done.
Well, I'm glad to hear that, because I get a lot of calls about the illegal dumping. And as you know, the board, we are trying to come up with something where we can have people out there watching who's dumping their garbage. So I appreciate that update on Penny Raymond Road. And I hope that our people are listening, that we are getting it done out there. And I know you have a lot more to do,
Yes, ma'am.
especially in Raymond and down in South Jackson. So I would just appreciate you just give me a week update every week.
Yes, ma'am. Actually, our administrative assistant emails the SPOs of projects that we've completed
Okay,
and or working on. So they will be in the know of what's going on that particular day.
okay, great.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Supervisor, continue.
Next, we have Waste Management on the agenda. We have had several conversations with Waste Management. I want the citizens of District 4 and all of Hinds County to understand, we hear you. We know your reasons for the predicament that you all assume that we're going through. We wanted to bring Waste Management here to speak about where we are and where we're going to go from here. Just before I bring representatives from Waste Management up, I want to say that Waste Management has heard from us. We have been on the battlefield for Hinds County about the garbage cans. We have been on the battlefield about the necessities of Waste Management. Don't get me wrong, Waste Management is a good company, but we are trying to work things out with Waste Management, and they have been very gracious with us. So, on that note, I would like to have Waste Management come up and just, are they gone?
No, there's supposed to be a Mr. David Holloway from Waste Management. He called me earlier, said that he was going by the office and then he would be in. If he is not here, then we can go to your next item and then come back to him for when he does come in, because he is somewhere.
And just to let everybody know, we will not solve all of the issues today, not at this setting, but we are working on the problem, and hopefully that we will come up with a solution for Hinds County. And I'm assuming.
Okay. All right, we'll wait and see if he's on the outside. If he's not on the outside, hold on just a second. Yeah, he's here. This is Mr. David Holloway from Waste Management.
Yeah.
All right. Yes, and a vote. If you would just state your name and your position, and then Supervisor Evers will take over from there.
Mr. David Holloway, Waste Management, Public Sector Representative for the Southwest, Central and Southwest Mississippi. Thank y'all board for having me here today.
Good morning, Mr. Holloway.
Good morning, Ms. Evers.
Can you give us an update on what we are going to do with Waste Management along with our town hall meetings and that we're setting up for our constituents to come out and speak to you about?
Yes, ma'am. We are working together. I'm working with some of your representatives to put together meetings to get into the public and discuss the contract that was fairly negotiated with Hinds County.
Right. We had been talking about putting dump sites in different areas for the constituents, people that don't only have one container, and we will get all that, and you all will be notified where the dump sites will be for your extra garbage. And so can you give us a little bit more information on that?
Yes, ma'am. In several counties, we do this, because we know that people have extra garbage, couches, mattresses, and things of that nature. So they have different locations that they place these dumpsters, and they give the residents their man with the county employee there, their man to, open certain days, and the county residents can bring their stuff out there and dispose of it. The extra stuff that they need to do away with, which it keeps for our cleaner county, and the city as well. It works there too.
So, can you tell us when all this will take place?
plan on going out this week and looking at all the, county barns, looking at some things that I discussed with y'all, and we can get the cans out as soon as possible. We just have to sit down and talk with y'all.
Okay.
Questions from the board? District 2?
Yes,
Hey,
look, kind of enjoyed that meeting yesterday.
I did too,
I
sir.
didn't beat up on you too much, did I?
Oh, no, sir.
Look, people have been calling me, and we realize this is not going to go away. There were some things that we also discussed, some alternatives, and I think that's still on the table. Is that right, Supervisor Graham?
Yes.
Yeah, so it may be dumpsters or maybe an additional day of pickup. We will have to sit down and negotiate with you. We're just trying to find out what's going to be best for the people. Living in District 2 myself, in fact, because I missed my garbage pickup day, so I'm going to have twice as amount of garbage. So that would be real nice. But we're going to have to come together, and work as a team. And I'm reaching out to Waste Management when they start coming out to these town hall meetings for people to speak out. And you're going to see how large a problem it is. I think it's a little bit larger than what you visualize for people who live in the county.
Well, we understand, sir, when you make change, there's always going to be, a certain percentage of people that do not like change. And so, but this was negotiated, and, you talk about the extra collection day, that would have to, the state statute will not let you change the contract in the current service. It was not allowed that, but you could, there may be some alternatives to that. Some other things you could do.
No, what we were asked, we're going to discuss it later on, is possibly having a secondary contract.
Okay.
Not, we realize from talking to you that you kind of got us on that one, that it's going to stand. That contract will not be changed according to Mr. Futterberg, okay. So we're just trying to figure out what's going to be better to help the citizens of Hinds County.
Yes, sir.
The whole Hinds County.
We'll work with you, yes.
Okay.
All right, Supervisor from District 3, Supervisor Dixon. You have any questions? All right, Supervisor from District 5, Supervisor McGowan.
Okay. Morning.
Good morning, Supervisor.
Mr. Davis, we go a long way back.
Yes, sir.
Talking about the situation. On the first thing is that I agree to it on the beginning. I wanted to people, I did not agree to this contract on the beginning. And I explained to him that all problems that we want to have, I did not incorporate it, and this is what we have right now. We're talking about what you explained to me. You saying that the state statute won't allow you to explain it to people who want what you're saying. What does the statute say?
Okay, so we negotiated a contract with the county. The county representative supervisors were there with their attorney. We sat down with the current contract, negotiated that contract. It was brought back before the board. It was a 5-0 vote to accept the contract. And we are performing our contract that we negotiated. And, is there anything else you would like me to touch on, Mr. McGowan?
No, we're having these meetings, we're talking to you, and you're saying that we're trying to find a solution. But what you're saying, there's no solution. You just signed the contract, and the people started complaining about it. My people are telling me that we'll see you at the poll. And they go, yeah. And this is what, that's what voted me in. And I'm trying to work for the people, so you saying that, and so the word, I'm not getting a hold to what you're saying that you're going to negotiate about. So you're saying that you're going to try to work something out. What are you going to work out?
Well, that's again, go back to, we can put, as several counties do already currently, is put out roll-off boxes in certain areas that give the residents an alternative for the extra stuff that they have to bring there and dispose.
Question, would there be another cost to the county, you know, saying they're gonna be the add-on? I'm asking that question.
Well, it will be a cost to the county, it won't be a huge cost, but the way the other counties that I've talked to that do this, they actually say it saves them money because they don't have to go around the county picking up all the illegal dump piles.
Okay.
Okay, we'll go back to Supervisor Evers.
I would like for you to just discuss the cost of the extra can and how that became, how that cost came up. We talked a little bit about that yesterday, because of the volume and the signature of the constituents that we have. A lot of times when you have a county that has less than a big city, such as New Orleans or Atlanta, our costs are a lot higher. But let me instill in this. The last board had 12 months to go over this contract. It's not just Waste Management's fault. They dropped the ball on this. So what we're trying to do is work out where we can make sure that our constituents are comfortable in paying and receiving what they need to.
Yes, ma'am.
So the cost of the can right now is $11.
$11.67.
And explain to us why.
Well, the reason for it, because it's an extra service that we're having to pick up. It's extra disposal that we're having to, that it costs us. And it's also time. And time is money and money is time. And you have to charge for it. We perform this based off of the statistics that we have. And we're being as fair as can be.
Okay, we have Supervisor Smith, and then we go to Supervisor Dixon.
Okay, question I asked yesterday, and just for the sake of the people, I asked, were there any other areas or counties that were being charged less per month for the garbage cans? Or is that just something that we negotiated and you locked in?
This was negotiated, I'm sure I know other counties are paying for it, but you have to understand, when other counties were quoted, people compare rates, but you can't really compare rates because pre-COVID was cheaper. Post-COVID is much more expensive. I mean, the world changed that day, the COVID hit the United States.
Let me rephrase that question. Are there counties in other areas demographically that are paying less?
Sir, I really don't look at those other counties. I worry about the counties that I have to deal with.
Well, I'm trying to establish that here in Hinds County that we're not overpaying, that when somebody else down the road may be paying $8. See, the question came up, I said, well, we can negotiate maybe $6 or something, and of course that was declined. But I just want to establish that, because we didn't have any other bidders, did we really have a choice to negotiate?
You did. We negotiate fairly. We're not trying to take advantage of anyone.
Okay.
We're not trying to take advantage of anyone. And you may have a county that's paying lesser, but they may have bid 3 years ago, 4 years ago. So that cost 4 years ago is totally different than the cost,
I'm talking about at present time. I'm not referring.
No, sir.
In other words,
I'm not familiar with one that's any.
Say Madison or any other county, is it possible that they may be paying less per resident per can?
With this service, no, sir. Those services are totally different than what you have. And again, the reason Waste Management, like we talked about yesterday, is going with this service is we're planning not for tomorrow, not for 6 months from now. We're having to look out 2, 3, 4 years, 5 years from now, so we can have the best opportunity to service the residents, because as everyone knows or should know or may know, the labor force has turned tremendously. It is hard to get people to work on the back of the truck. It's very hard. And it's not that dependable. So we're looking out, it's much more dependable to have more drivers in case someone were to get sick, because we do we alternate them, give them work days. It's much more likely that you will continue to get garbage service if another pandemic were to come around or something of that nature.
Supervisor Dixon, then Supervisor McGowan.
Thank you, Mr. Waste Manager.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Speaking to the girl.
I'm thinking now, was you consider it, they should have had meetings, because I'm from Baldwin, rural Hinds County, and originally from Clinton. A lot of the elders and senior people have to get their kids to bring those garbage cans down to the road. You got a lot of elder people cannot bring those garbage cans down to the road. In a lot of the rural areas, the garbage only run once a week. So I'm saying that when people come here for the board and these constituents vote for them, why they don't be considered to go having meetings at these churches and let the people know before y'all just come to the board just for to get a vote? Because the people is on fixed income, there's a lot of seniors, and they cannot pull these garbage cans. Their children have to come help them. A lot of those roads are long in the rural area. I'm just saying that what y'all should be considering. So something y'all gonna have to do for the disabled and the elderly. They try to help them in the rural area, because it's going to be a problem for them. And they're all on fixed income. And every time we come here, we come for the board, and we add additional money to their fixed income. We add additional money to their taxes, additional everything to their bills, and they have to pay for it. And they on fixed income. So I think there's something we need to be considered, waste management. And by the way, are y'all hiring additional employees? Because to my understanding, waste management, I think y'all just get some homeless people, which I know they walk to waste management, whoever get on the truck that day. So are y'all creating pins for employment? Or y'all just doing the people that come every day? So when
we don't hire. I mean, the way we practice is everybody has the opportunity to put on a waste management uniform, be hired by waste management. We do have a temp agency that they have to go through. Nobody can walk up off the streets and get on the back of our truck. They have to be hired through the temp agency. And then they have an opportunity to move from the temp agency to full-time. Some people just don't want to work full-time. They just would rather work through a temp agency and, not have the responsibility of a full-time worker.
So how you gonna address the seniors in the rural area, and the elderly, and the disabled, some of the ones that cannot bring their garbage can down to the road?
We would be willing to sit them down and talk with you in regards to that.
But I was just saying to you is why wasn't these conversations had before you brought it to the board, to these different communities and these different churches? So why it was discussed and y'all just brought it to the board for a vote?
So no, it was discussed with everybody. They knew the service that was coming. We actually met with them before we quoted the business, and met with them afterwards. And no one from the board, said, hey, let's go out and meet. That nobody ever called for a meeting.
But you hear what you said? You said the board, am I right? I said the constituent, the residents that you dropped those garbage cans off at. I was just saying, did you go out and have any community meetings?
No ma'am, no one.
Thank you.
Supervisor McGowan, then we come back for Supervisor Evans to wrap it up. Go ahead.
Question. First one, can you buy a can, or do they have to rent?
Again, the reason that we rent the can is because we give 100% replacement. Because those cans, if we tear one up, we're going to have to replace it. And also, it is a service that you're paying for, an extra service. it costs us extra to pick that extra can up, and it also costs us extra to dispose of that garbage.
So your answer is no, you can't buy it. Okay, that's nevertheless, while you sit here, explain to the people why you here. What position the can got to be in? Can the top be over? Can the top? Oh, hold on. Can the top be over? Can the top be on the side? How many feet we got to be from the mailbox? Because these are some of the things that people complain about. One person said, I had my garbage can here, he didn't pick up my trash. So they give me a call over and over again, late night, early morning. So explain why you here now? Work session. Explain it to the people.
How we have to put the can out?
Where?
Okay, you need to put your can out. You do not need to be any closer than 3 feet from your mailbox, a car, anything fire hydrant. Keep it that way. On the top of the can, on your lid, it shows you face the can this way. There's point out. The can's face where you lift up should be pointing toward the road, so let the truck can grab it, pick it up, dump it, bring it back down, and the lid goes right back down on top of it for, to keep water out and things of that nature. And it sits in the same place that you left it. If you did not get a sticker on your can, I have some here to hand out.
A lot of stickers was not on the can. And some of the can was thrown down here, or left sideways, and the paper was all over the place. I'm just telling you what the people are telling me, because I don't drive by every house, and I'm not gonna drive by every house, but I get every phone call. These are some of the complaints that you don't get a chance to hear at night, that we hear. In church, you can't go to church on Sunday morning, you complain about the garbage, and you get the grocery store, wherever you go, people are complaining about the garbage. And I just want them to hear from me, because a lot of times they don't hear from me. So I appreciate you explaining. Thank you.
Okay, we got Supervisor Dixon, then we close it out with Supervisor Evers.
Okay, now, explain to the people, 'cause I know a lot of times people come to the well and y'all always say the state statute. Just the same thing, we said the state statute when we set a price on the millage, then we add additional millage. Now, the state statute allows you to charge them the $12. And what the state statute allows you to do?
But, yes, ma'am, I don't think state statute holds us back from, charging for a fair service.
Okay, but was this state statute that you go up there and allocate this at the Capitol? Because, I know that y'all can go into the Capitol and y'all can make statute for the people, but y'all hide behind the state statute. Was this done what year? You said the state statute. What year it was allocated? Do you know the year?
No, ma'am, I really don't.
Do you know the bill number it was in?
Ma'am, when I went to work and took over this position, it was then, so I can't tell you all when in the state statute. If you're asking about charging.
So you said the state statute, I would want to make sure, when you said it, what was the statute, what was in the statute? So when you said the state statute.
Well, we're reading, the state statute, what I've been.
But when you do the state statute, you can say a certain amount, and then you can go back an additional and add to the citizen, but you're hide behind the state statute. So I want to make sure that you know that I'm gonna look into the state statute.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Supervisor Evers.
I want to close out with, as a board, we should have had community meetings about this. Our constituents was not informed, and like I said, we dropped the ball on that. During that time that the contract was signed, we were not sitting here on the board. So we are working diligently to get this corrected. No, we are in a contract that was signed by the last board. And no, there's really not too much that we can do with that contract. We are working with Waste Management. Waste Management is working with us. So just give us a chance And we're gonna have the town meetings across Hinds County, so Waste Management could hear your concerns. We have to understand we have a voice, and we have to start using our voice. Quit letting everybody take your voice and use it for their own self. So once we get our town hall meeting straight, I would like for everybody to come to these town hall meetings and find out what is going on, not just with waste management, but with everything in your community and in your county.
I look forward to it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Don't miss one of them.
I will not.
Are there
Thank-
citizens here?
That comes up at the end.
Any
Yes,
citizens?
yeah.
That come up at the end. Thank you very much,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Tom. We have a section at the end for citizens that want to come up, and we'll, hope that you'll be able to stay to where you can help and listen to those citizens that come up at the end regarding this issue. We'll continue with our printed agenda.
He says that the citizens from the end, right?
Yes,
Will you be there for the citizen act question?
that's what I just said, yes.
Just ask the question, I understand the statement.
All right, thank you very
You
much.
mind if I leave these?
Would you give us yeah. We'd like to go back to our printed agenda, and the chair always goes last.
Thank y'all for having me.
Okay, thank you, and just don't go.
I'll probably stand out here.
There's plenty more to come. So we'll now go to the section under District 1, and that's Wagner Engineering, watershed project. Yes. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought we'd already done that. District 5, Supervisor McGowan. Okay.
Just looking, that's all. No problem. First of all, a couple words out there to get the Dion. Stand for me, young man. Good morning, Mr. Dion.
Good morning, sir.
Okay, where are we with the project on Middle Road?
Middle Road, RC Services is waiting for better weather to start on that project.
And what about Midway Road?
As well, the inclement weather has kept us from getting out there doing that drainage work.
Mr. Dion, I've been getting calls, one of the employees down there that you didn't notice them and whatever essentially, would you explain to the board, could you think of why you didn't notice the person and who gave you the call?
That's a personnel issue that has to be done in the executive session.
Are we going to have the executive session for this?
Yes, we are.
Okay, now I was hanging around with the executive session.
Continue, please.
Well, wait a minute, what about the employees, like, they gotta be done in the executive session too?
There will be.
Policy and procedures, they all have to be done in the executive session?
It just depends on what policy or procedure you want to talk
Well,
about.
the policy that, I think, the policy that, the handbook policy for the employees, right, and what they can do, what they can't do. We can't talk about that in open session.
Yes, that goes directly to the county administrator as relates to the handbook and what it does and does not say, as well as the attorneys that we have present. Go ahead.
Okay. Ms. Berry,
Yes, sir.
my understanding that there was somewhere in the policy that at halftime, it will right to workplace, is that so?
Yes, sir.
So, we went back and we did the policy maybe 2 or 3 years ago. I think the board voted on the policy, but this policy was not explained step by step for the employees. So I need to get with you as a whole. If something in this policy is not helping our employees, taking away from our employees, we need to bring before this board and let them, we vote on it again because, just going out, firing people, taking people's jobs and all that kind of stuff. We did this once before, back in 2018, when the new board came in, we didn't shut down the whole maintenance department. Took away all these people's jobs away from them. So I don't want to see this happen again, and then we have to start back another maintenance department back. We were doing the maintenance department now that we took away back then. Everybody lost their job. Got to know, a lot of people got fired. So we need to look very careful in this policy, because I'm very concerned about these employers. I worked, I keep saying, I started in 1983, but we didn't have nobody, had nobody on the board to come to. When they ran you off, for whatever reason, you left your job. I worked there, I was in the factory environment. And the people put me in the office, they voted me in, get the job done. I put some people to make sure I get things taken care of. I sit back and never talk because I don't like confusion. But when I see you confident, not you, when I see you, let me explain on my thing that I see it's you. When we constantly sit back and mistreat our employees over and over again, like we don't have a heart or love for people. And I got a problem. I got 41 and a half years, and I've been down this road to see people be elected for no reason, because a person downtown. I don't want to see it happen. I may not like a person, but I ain't got to take the job. Okay, will you check into that and get back with me? Yes, ma'am?
Yes, sir. I appreciate your concern, and I will work with the HR director, and we would definitely get back with you, in addition to the board attorney.
Well, Mr. Johnson, I've been having a lot of, we'll talk about it in the next session. We can't talk about it out here. We'll talk about it in the next session. Whatever it is, I'm not going to sit back anymore. I'm not going to be quiet. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Are you finished? Supervisor, are you finished?
I'm done right now.
All right, thank you. All right, we'd now like to go to Wagner Engineering for an update. Each supervisor has a watershed.
You're not gonna go back to your item before you move forward?
Go ahead.
You're gonna go back to your item before you move forward?
Yes, that's, I would, Wagner Engineering.
Sorry.
Yeah. Wagner Engineers here will come to the front to give us an update. Each supervisor has a watershed project in their district, and we asked Wagner Engineering to come give an update as to what's going on and to talk to each individual supervisor regarding the project that has been approved. We also, is the state aid engineer here, or the state engineer, Mr. Lewis?
Yes, I believe Mr. O.B. Lewis with NRCS, State Conservation Engineer, and Mr. Nick Ivey, the Executive Director of the Mississippi Soil Water Conservation Commission.
And would you just proceed and just do each individual project that you're working on, and then we'll see if each supervisor or the supervisor in that district has a question about it, and then we'll go from there.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Rand. Well, my name is Bill McDonald. I'm with Wagner Engineering. And very briefly, Wagner is under contract to the Mississippi Soil and Water Conservation Commission through a partnership with the federal agency, NRCS, to perform a watershed plan and environmental assessment in 4 different watersheds here in Hinds County. This program started a couple years ago when the county requested assistance from NRCS with flood-related issues in each of the 5 districts. It turns out to be within four watershed areas. And last year, the NRCS allocated funding in partnering with the Mississippi Soil and Water Conservation Commission allocated funds to Hinds County to address those issues. And so we are under contract to perform those plans. Before I say, I invite Mr. O.G. Lewis, the State Conservation Engineer, or Mr. Nick Ivey to chime in at any moment. I've also got members of the team, the AJA and Wagner team here as well. But basically what this is, this program is funded through the Watershed and Flood Prevention Operations Program, which is a major program within NRCS that historically has been the source of funding for flood-related issues, agricultural best management practices, all kinds of improvements in watersheds dating back to the old days of the Soil Conservation Service, which is now the Natural Resources Conservation Service. So, responding to Hinds County's request, the NRCS allocated funding to look at some specific flooding issues in the 5 districts, the 4 watersheds. What you have in your hand is the 2-page, the front and back. That's just a summary of the program. On the back page is a map that identifies the watersheds of concern. And then you have a separate map of the county, and it identifies the specific 4 watersheds in which we're working. And you'll see some circled areas. Those are the specific.
There's 6 circles.
Right, there are 6 circles located within 4 different watersheds in the county. And those 6 circles represent specific flooding issues that the board at that time identified and requested help with. So those are the issues specifically that are driving this plan, but they're not the only things that we're looking at. We're starting with those areas, but as NRCS through the years has taken a watershed approach, is when you're looking at specific flooding issues, you look at the entire watershed, because things that happen throughout the watershed are going to impact that issue. So we're looking at these entire 4 watersheds, but focusing initially on those specific flooding problems. And we can answer any particular questions about what you have in your hand.
Can you just go through each individual project right quick to let each supervisor know what their project is, to make sure what is the status of their project?
Right, okay, well, all right, so from the overall perspective, we're in what's called the planning and design phase, which will wrap up toward the end of this year. But that's where we identify the problems, come up with potential solutions, go out into the public, invite public comment, and then ultimately we'll put together a plan, a report that NRCS has to review and approve. And when that will approve specific projects to address those issues. And then the next stage would be to move right into design and then into construction. So this is a planning, design, and construction program. So the issues that are circled on that map that you have are the issues you initially, or the board initially identified, starting in the Hanging Moss watershed. There are a couple of issues. There's an issue along White Oak Creek that's historically been problematic with stream bank degradation and flooding. So that's an issue that's being looked at, and that's also being looked at outside of this program. There's another issue identified on the Watkins Beasley Road area on a tributary of Hanging Moss that has got some degradation problems and some localized flooding issues. So we're looking at both of those. In the upper Bogachita watershed, to the northwest part of the county, there's the Presidential Hills neighborhood.
Okay, let me stop you right there and be a little bit more specific. Do you have a project for District 2 on this map? For the District 2 supervisor, do you have a project on this map down?
That should be your Bogachita.
Yeah, there's areas identified. Yeah, the Bogachita, the Presidential Hills area has been designated as a problem area.
Okay, and then that's what I wanted to ask, and then once we do that, then we'll go directly to District 3, and you tell them what her project is.
Okay, I
District 4, and District 5, then come back to me. So you should be handling District 1 right now. Excuse me, District 2.
All right.
Okay, go ahead.
So that would be in the upper Bogachita watershed. That would be specifically the Presidential Hills area.
Right. I think you may have 2 areas. It's White Oak Creek, I believe.
White Oak
is
is
the area.
in District 1.
But the Bogachita, there's trucks over there. Are you doing any clean out now? Or doing some preliminary work over there?
we're doing nothing on the ground at this stage. We're evaluating, we're trying to identify what the problems are, what the causes are, and then come up with potential solutions that will then be vetted with the assistance of the NRCS, Soil and Water Conservation Commission, and then, once approved, we will move in, we'll actually get into work on the ground.
Well, I know they've been talking about this problem. This has been an ongoing problem for many years in the residential hills. Do we have an estimated start date?
No. The simple answer is no. The end of this current process will be the fourth quarter of this year. And then once, in the end of that process will be some a project or projects intended to solve the problem. Then we will move into design. And that could take 9 to 12 months, and then construction will follow that. So realistically, I don't foresee construction on the ground through this program until early, say, the first quarter of 2025. I'm sorry, 2026.
I thought they had already had some designs and things last year, because I went to some of the I go to the meetings at Presidential Hills, and one of your representatives showed up, and I thought this was already handled at this point.
No, those meetings that must have been associated with something different. This program has only been kicked off since about April of last year, and we've not yet had we've had one public meeting here in this boardroom, but we've not had community meetings in the communities yet.
Okay, for the benefit of
For this particular program.
For the benefit of people, can you kind of describe what a watershed is?
Yeah, watershed is just a drainage area. It's just the area on the ground within which whatever rain falls drains to a specific system of tributaries, ultimately in this instance, the Bogachitter Creek and out to the Big Black River. So the watershed is just a drainage area that determines, where rain falls, where water goes once the rain falls.
I guess my biggest concern is I live in District 2, and a lot of the creeks are either beaver dams or sand wash, sediment, and once these sheds are completed, is that going to cause flooding down the road for these other areas?
No. I mean, the point of watershed, looking at the entire watershed, is to make sure that one solution in one location does not create problems in another location. So we're trying to look at the whole watershed, whether it's lack of maintenance, stream bank degradation, beaver dams, street flooding, whatever it is. It's all related, so that's why we're taking this watershed approach, is to try to look at the entire watershed planning area.
And you're going to have a kind of a maintenance schedule or something to notify somebody everything that's required taken care of.
Right. Any solution ultimately that is approved and funded by NRCS will have to have a maintenance agreement attached to it. And that's where the local, that's where this board will come in.
So you're saying that Presidential Hills 2025.
That's right. In this program.
Can I speak for just a second, if you don't mind? My name is Nick Ivey. I'm the Executive Director of the Mississippi Soil and Water Conservation Commission. I just want to quickly explain how the process works here, because I think that will help you all understand. And you asked a great question. If we do something here, is it going to flood 10? Because you're worried about people calling your phone and saying, I'm flooding. If we flood one and change it to another. But I want to let you know that the reason that this process takes quite a bit of time, we are accessing federal dollars. And there's the Environmental Policy Act, the National Environmental Policy Act requires us to put a plan together and have it approved so that that does not happen. In other words, when we submit this plan, we're saying that this will, by doing this particular item of work, that it will not adversely affect another area because of it. It's not, we want to do that. a lot of times in municipalities, and take this for what it is, watersheds do not follow beat lines. A watershed will come right over your beat line or your district line and not phase you a bit. It just keeps right on going. And so it's really important. That's why he was trying to figure out which district this is in, because we don't look at districts a lot of times. We have to look at the entire watershed because water doesn't know the difference, right? But we will put together a plan. We plan on trying to have that completed sometime around September of this year, so that we will be able to come to you and say, these are the problems, and these are a set of solutions that we have come up with that we want to talk to you about. Once we decide the best of those solutions in all these watersheds, then I will ask them to conduct the design phase of that, where we actually look at how we're going to build it and do the things, whether it be structural or non-structural, all the different items. Once that is done, then we'll immediately go into construction. But I just wanted to, we got a lot of questions about why is it taking so long? What's the holdup? And that is the reason, is the National Environmental Policy Act and the access to federal funds requires things that do take time. We have to study the whole watershed to be able to put those on the ground. It's very important, it does take time, but I can assure you that a lot of the problems that are existing now exist because of those district lines where someone may say, well, I've got some funds to do something. Well, they go in and fix this problem, but it pushes it over to the next district or pushes it over to the next street. And so that's one of the things that we're trying to alleviate with this process. And so I just wanted to kind of put that out there before we go any further, because that's kind of the idea, is we don't want to create problems. We're trying to find solutions to the problems, and solutions that last a lot longer than typically do. So, thank you.
So you're with Hinds County Soil and Conservation?
No, sir. I'm with the state agency, the Mississippi Soil and Water Conservation Commission. We're a state agency.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Do you have a card?
Sir?
Do you have a card?
I do. I'll get it to you.
All right, we'll now go to District 3, and we'll talk about the project that's closely related to District 3, and I believe that's going to be the one at Main Street.
Candlestick Apartments, can you tell me the status of the Camelot's apartment? Because I know a lot of times they get in and they fix it, and it brings problems for the apartments. They're flooded and stuff. So can you tell me what's the status in the Lynch Street?
Right, the Lynch Street watershed, that's one of the, that is as you very well know, that's a urbanized watershed. It's entirely developed, a lot of residential, a lot of commercial. That's right in the heart of town. So we're doing exactly the same there as with Hanging Moss or Bogachuda, these other watersheds. We're in the point right now of identifying what the problems are. And clearly the Camelot Apartments flooding, chronic flooding problems are what really drove that request, that focus on the Lynch Creek watershed. So we're looking at that. We're trying to determine exactly what the root causes of that are, upstream or downstream. But the status is it's in the planning phase right now, along with all these other watersheds. So there's no specificity yet about solutions.
Okay, what planning stage is it in? You said it's in the planning stage. What month, what year? Is it this year?
As I said earlier, our goal is to get this done, to get the planning part done in September of this year. These types of plans generally take a lot longer. We're expediting this to try to get it done as fast as possible, but we are also keeping in mind that we don't want to push something out there that doesn't fix your problem. We want it to be done correctly.
I see you got Camelot's apartment, so what all in that area? Is it Lynch Street and Camelot? I know I got a bridge that's having a problem on Lynch Street. Lynch Street and kind of area, so is it two or one?
Well, there's no one single problem. The Camelots is what has gotten all of the publicity, and they've had chronic issues and problems there. But the problems are throughout that watershed. So, but that area that you're looking at, you're specifying there, that's right there at Ellis and Lynch, just north,
Robinson,
just northwest.
It's
It's
Ellis
white.
and Robinson.
Right, but it's right in the crook of that creek, you know, where that creek, where
I
the
know
creek
exactly
makes
where the
turn.
creek is, I know exactly where the flood is, I really know exactly.
Right.
But I wanna make sure that when you do the project and you complete the planning area, I would like to look at your plan, I would like to go to the site, so I can see exactly what you're gonna be doing at the site. So when you get ready to do the plan for Camelot, I wanna make sure we're there, I wanna make sure we get quality work for Camelot. Because there's a lot of stuff going on there, they have the flood, those are homeowners over there, there's business over there. I wanna make sure we get quality work for Lynch Street and Robinson Road in Camelot, in that area.
Right, and you'll have multiple opportunities to review and to provide input to that.
I want to review, but I also want to go to the site. I want to go exactly to the project, what we're going to do in Camelot.
All right. Good morning, this is Obi Lewis, NRCS Engineering. We are going to have 2 rounds of public participation. So the first round for scoping, the public will be invited, and you, of course, will be invited. And the second round will be when we find a solution, we're going to present that to you also. So 2 rounds of public participation, one 30-day notice in the newspaper for the scoping, and then another 30-day notice for the alternative, which means the solution.
You said newspaper?
Yes, ma'am. It will be, those public participation should be published in the newspaper.
Okay, but you're going to follow with the board also?
Oh, yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'll make sure I get it. Thank you.
Okay, we'll now go to District 4. Do you see if you have any watershed projects for that particular area? I know you're not defined by district lines, but this would be the Byram area, the Brandon area,
That's right.
Supervisor area.
So on your map, we call that's in the Lake Ridge Lee, a Big Creek watershed, and that drains that area right there. Historically, chronically, the issues there have been in the Park Road Estates area, and then down below, using the Sywell Road sort of as a benchmark. Down below, south of Sywell, there are a couple of other areas that are some unnamed tributaries of Big Creek. And that has, again, chronically had issues, flooding issues. So also, those are the ones circled on the map there. And again, that's what's attracted the focus of funding and planning to that particular area. So we'll be looking we are looking specifically at those chronic areas, but also at, again, that entire Lake Ridge Lee, Big Creek watershed to see what's impacting those areas.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a question. So what do you all are just right now evaluating the situation right now? So when you start working on them, how long is it going to take you to fix these problems?
We don't know yet. That's the whole core of this process, is to figure out what we need to do to fix the problems. So I couldn't tell you.
I understand what you're saying. But when you go in to fix the problems, how long is it going to take? 1 year, 2 years, 5 years?
Well, and that's what I'm telling you, to be honest with you. It's just like if you're building a house. I don't know how big a house you're going to build yet, so it might change. I don't have any idea what those solutions are going to be yet. But
we can give you an estimate on a house, but what I'm saying is these areas have been flooding for so long.
right. We've been working on this for about a year, though. So we're trying to do our due diligence to get that done as fast as possible. But I cannot answer that question for you. Nobody in this room can answer that question for you until we know what we need to design and implement on the ground to fix it. I wish I had the magic ball that would tell you that, but I'm being honest with you. In the next phase of this, we will have a lot better idea. We will know what we're going to be putting on the ground.
Okay, so who would be paying, would this come from state aid or Hinds County or?
100% federal funds, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Supervisor Dixon?
I know you keep saying you don't know when, but tell me, what project are y'all doing in Hinds County? Because everything that we ask you, is a year or 2 years. So tell me when the last time, or what project you're doing in Hinds County, as a resident?
Actively constructing?
Yes.
None.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. But it's a year, but you want to do the project in Hinds County, but I'm quite sure other counties are getting their work done, but you know, it's Hinds County, so we're gonna see how long is Wagner Engineer gonna take to get project done in Hinds County. Because it's phased, it's phased, it's phased, it's phased. And after a while, we're gonna be faded out, because some of these projects gonna have to be done in Hinds County. We ain't gonna keep on coming for the board and saying it's a plan, it's a plan. And I know Wagner Engineer is working on other projects that I know of personally, and it ain't taking no year to do. Thank you.
Okay.
I would like to say one thing. Were those federally funded projects?
Yes?
I don't, there's no way that a federally funded project can be put on the ground without having the NEPA document done in the first place. So I'd like to know which ones those were.
But it's been done in other places, and I know of it. So, and you know it too, but I'm just saying to you is,
We're doing the exact same thing in Madison County currently for a watershed project, very similar to what we're doing in Hinds. The timeline is exactly the same there.
we're gonna see the phase, that how long did we take in Hinds County to get some accomplished from Wagner Engineer? Because it's time we want to see, and some of the federal dollars come in. I don't want us to come and say that our peoples are flooding, our bridges is out, our roads are messed up, and we want some project in Hinds County. I just want to make sure. Thank you.
Absolutely, we want the same.
All right, we really appreciate you coming down. I know about White Oak Creek in District 1. We'll be asking you to come back to give additional updates in the future as it relates to the project. But we really appreciate the progress so far, and we look forward to you coming back. Thank you very much.
One request, but the next thing that we would like to do would be to schedule some public information, public input meetings.
Right.
In those 4 areas.
Okay.
So is there a particular individual at the county with whom we can coordinate or should coordinate?
If it's going to be within the 4 watershed districts, then we'll set up something where you can deal with each individual supervisor, because they know where their time and when they'll be able to meet. And so if you just let me know what your available dates are, then we'll get with them and make sure they're available, and we'll work from that aspect.
Great, I appreciate that.
All right, thank you for coming down. Supervisor McGowan?
Oh, no, I would just like to say to the engineer company that I realize that you take time to get things taken care of. Hope that you all can, with our project done in a timely manner. We do expect that you do take time from experience, okay? And do the best you can, what you got.
All right, thank you very much, and we'll continue with the printed agenda. We'll now go to IMS engineers. They're on the agenda for an update of several different projects that they have. Mr. Ament and IMS, kind of give the board an update as to what's going on and what projects you're working on. Yeah.
Good morning.
Go ahead, Mr. Adrian.
Yes, I wanted to give an update, follow up from the last work session that we did on some projects. We talked about it on the last work session, but I got more information because we're going to be having some items on the agenda for Monday. The White Oak Creek project, I know that you all just got to talking about NRCS part, but we're working on the state of emergency project with that, to take care of some erosion. So some of the needed areas that are critical right now to stop some flooding from backyards and different things like that. In the process, we got quotes, like I said last time. I mean, we got proposals from contractors, and the cost was tremendous. So what we did, we decided to break the project up to get quotes from contractors to do the clearing and grubbing to prepare for the main project of putting in the sheet piles and the riprap. And so we got 2 quotes, and we're going to be presenting that to the board on Monday. The package that I gave you, of course, is just to give you the background of it, but I'm just talking in general from that front sheet. So basically, People Construction was the lowest bidder with the quote, so I'm going to be requesting for the board approval to award the project to them because it's within that $75,000 threshold for doing quotes, and we're going to request for the board to do a purchase order to do that project, and that will be coming out of the fund of the state fund that we currently have. And so that's going to be one of my items on the agenda.
All right, continue.
The next item is Adams Station Road overlay project, and I think that Mr. Dion is going to have, Mr. Quinn, that is, going to have that on his agenda item. But this is a road that we've completed with state aid, and basically it's just a closeout process. I mean, everything is done, and so state aid have accepted the project, and they've given us the final acceptance on it, and so we have a board order that he's going to be presenting to the board for approval on Monday.
Okay, continue.
So the next item is requesting, I'm going to be requesting for the board approval to advertise 2 LSVP projects that we have. Both of those projects are in District 4. And basically, the county had to get right of way. We completed that right of way for the county. The plans have been approved by state aid. And of course, we're going to be requesting for the board approval to advertise those projects contingent on state aid approval.
Okay. Continue, and then we'll come back and go back with the questions, but we continue.
Okay, so the next item is going to be, we've been coordinating with Mr. Quinn along with state aid in reference to that Moncur bridge project, which is a critical bridge right now. It's over the Pearl River, and basically state aid, they're going to be allowing us to program that project for a state of emergency project to take care of the repairs on that. Once we get a proposal as far as the cost, we're going to be submitting that information, a program to the county to request the board approval to program that project.
Okay.
All right, the next 2 items, well, the next item I have is dealing with state aid, the annual report. We did an annual inspection with the state aid on all of the state aid roads and bridges that are in the county. And just Friday, we received that report. And from that report, we're going to be submitting to the board our recommendation for your consideration on roads that you could approve for recent overlaying. And also, too, we're going to be meeting with Mr. Quinn to talk about some maintenance issues that they are talking about that need to happen on the roads and bridges.
Will the board have that in hand before the next agenda?
Yes, sir. As a matter of fact, if you look in the package that I have, what I did was I provided a copy of the actual report that state aid provided for the annual maintenance. And if you look at it, it's under the tab that says bridge eligible. Well, not that one. It's the last page, which is called state aid annual maintenance. And basically, it kind of lists all the roads on the state aid system that we need to look at, and they made a recommendation on roads that need to be overlaid and resealed, and also to maintain by Public Works. In addition to that, also too, we have a listing of the bridges that we are recommending, and we'll provide more details on that, but we identify bridges that are closed, bridges that are posted with low posting, that's on the state aid system, and also to the LSBP system that we can utilize funds for to make those improvements based on what the board preferences are.
Okay, we'll go to District 2, then to District 3. District 2, any questions?
Hi, how are you doing?
Yes,
I
sir.
think there's quite a few bridges in District 2.
Yes, sir.
Okay. What area are you going to be working in first? Like, the question came up about the bridge on St. Thomas Road. There's been some discussion on whether to fix 3 bridges or put a long bridge there.
So basically, the way we typically do it, we're going to provide a detailed cost breakdown for all the board members to review. And based on that, of course, you have limited funds to do all the projects. So we have to prioritize it based on what the board you all approved to do. We'll give you the bridges with the cost for your recommendation, and based on what your recommendation is, we're going to prioritize those bridges accordingly.
But there's some seriously bad roads in District 2, especially in the Edwards and Bolton area. There's just some major areas that I would even drive down at night.
Yes, sir.
You know, so I do have another question.
Okay.
And it's a little bit off thing. You did an environmental assessment, I believe, Utica, Bolton, and Edwards.
Yes,
regarding the beautification. Is there anything additional needed for them to do before that money can be utilized?
I have to get with Ms. Berry and her department. I think that basically we were the only responsible for doing the environmental. And I think they submitted that to the CDBG, and we need to probably get an update from them on the status of how we move forward.
Okay, I'll speak to
Yeah.
Ms. Berry. Thank you.
Thank you.
Supervisor Dixon.
Thank you, Ms. I hear you said some project like in the rural areas. But what state aid project are you working on in the city of Jackson? Because I do know Sidewell and Raymond Road. And what state aid project are you working on in the city of Jackson?
So when it comes to the cities and the municipalities, where the state aid program is set up, each municipality, including the county for their part, is responsible for maintaining their roads and bridges. And basically, most of the state aid bridges, some of them come within the work limits of cities, but they are mostly in the rural area.
No, they're not. Sidewell Road is state aid and Raymond Road is state aid.
Right, so with it, yes ma'am, I'm saying, so they come into the city. So basically, what happened is, they want to make sure that the road is a road that has been you utilized the state aid funds before on those roads. So we can't program a road unless it's been already previously programmed for maintaining.
Raymond Road is a state aid and it's going to be programmed. I don't know whether to overlook up on the IMN along with Sidewell Road. I know it for a fact. So when you get with me and let me know about Sidewell and Raymond Road, because those two are state aid roads.
Yeah.
It's not just the rural area that you got to look out for a state aid, because you got state aid roads all over the city of Jackson.
Yes, ma'am. So the way it works is the annual inspection that we do, and it's done by state aid. They go out and pretty much we ride with them, and we go over the road, and they do an assessment on the road. They come back and they'll let us know pretty much which roads they will approve in order for you to overlay and do whatever other maintenance to.
Well, so in other words, I'm going to have to give the state aid myself.
No, ma'am,
That's what it seems like I'm going to have to do.
No, ma'am, you don't have to, you can come directly to me.
I'm going to give the state aid, and then they'll get with you.
Well, I provided you the report, And
I asked you about the two roads, which is Raymond Road, the bridge.
Raymond Road is a state aid route. We have to,
Southwell is a state aid road also.
I have to look and see if there has
But
been.
you don't know this state aid road, because it is.
No, I have to see if that has been an existing project on the road. Like, although you have state aid roads, they would not allow us to do a road that has not been improved in the past. Only roads they're gonna allow us to do is roads that's been improved, and you're doing the maintenance of those roads.
Southwell Road, they started the project, and what they did from Maddox Road, to almost to Byram, they did not complete the project. You can see where that bridge on Southwell Road like a third world country, and you got a bridge on Raymond Road like a third world country. They left the rule from Raymond Road past Hillcrest. They went there, they started in Byram. They came back. They haven't did any work on that state aid road in 40 years on Southwell Road. I know for a fact.
Yes, well, we'll look at it.
Okay, and along with Raymond Road. They went down on Raymond Road by Hidden Valley, and those people's houses are flooded down there. And matter of fact, when y'all do those projects, all of those ditches down there on by Hidden Valley, the back of Brook Hollow, they look like third world country. When you do the project, all they get out there, they put the rocks in there, which they should do a better quality job, and trees are growing up in it. Those are projects, the back of Brook Hollow, people houses, land are going in the back of the ditch, along with Hidden Valley and Sidewell Road.
Right.
Okay.
So if you look at the report, basically on the report, state aid, they talk about that. Like I mentioned earlier, the county and the cities are responsible for doing the maintenance of their roads. Okay, well, like say for instance, if we go out and we pave a road and we complete that road, a lot of these roads are not living their life because of the ditches are not being properly graded, maintained. You have trees that are growing up that haven't been cut. You have pretty much just the shoulder grade and different things like that. So those things right there have an impact on the lifespan of that road.
Well, I understand that, but the quality of work when you do the project, because the quality of work, if you get out there putting them stones in there, and it's not maintained, grass grow to it, and trees, it's the quality of work. If you're gonna do something in Hinds County, we want quality. We don't want you to just say you're doing a project, just you're doing a project, because you know for a fact when you're doing a bridge, the bricks, and you throwing those stones in there, the grass gonna grow through it. So it's about quality. And I know those bridges that y'all did, if I can look it up, I bet you IMS did, because I remember the project up on the Pig House in Calhoun. And I know when they did the project about Hidden Valley. And I know when they started the project. So I make sure that you look at those, the back of Brook Hollow, Sidewell Road, Hidden Valley, and Raymond Road.
Thank you. Okay, we'll now go to District 4, Supervisor Edwards. Okay, we'll now go to District 5.
Okay. I know that very, I say, well, maybe you need to explain to the board about what roads I consider state aid road and what roads are not state aid road, and so you have a better understanding about what's being taken place. And explain to them that the ride and the cheer the state aid crew get together usually along the road directly, and you all ride the road, and they cheer you all what you can do and what you can't do. And I was wondering if that is allocated for a situation, because I am not in agreement with $3 million that they give a county every 4 years to 19 roads. This kind of embarrassing for all the roads that we have in Hinds County, and we only allow $3 million over 40 period of time. Just great. So kind of explain, if you would, okay, great. Go ahead, comment.
And
Can I say?
Just 1 minute, let him finish, and then we'll come to you.
so just to maybe, in general, and I can meet with each individual board member to talk more in detail. But basically, you have roads that are classified as state aid routes, and then you have local roads, and then of course you have the municipality roads that you have that the cities are responsible for maintaining. Your state aid funds are only used, well, one good thing about it, state aid, they broke the money up into 3 different sections this year. This is the first time they ever done it. You have state aid funds that are allocated for state aid roads improvements. And then you have state aid bridge funds that are allocated for state aid bridges. And then you have LSVP funds that are allocated for off-system bridges, which are your local bridges. And that's everything pretty much in a nutshell.
Supervisor Dixon?
You might need to explain to Bobcat, because we're not literate. We know what the state aids are, and the board do know it. And I am a state representative, I know what's a state aid and state aid road, so the board is not literate, okay? We know what a state aid is. You probably need to explain to Bobcat.
Okay. All right. Let's. Do you have anything else?
No, sir, that's all I have.
Okay, any other questions from the board? Okay, if there are no other questions, you have, okay, go ahead, but make sure that you direct your, to me, to the chair.
Well, she just getting Bobcat, so how can I?
You literally told him to explain to the board like this literally. Our board members are not literate. Just because you out there got your own business and run a business, we're not literate. We know exactly what we're doing. We know our state aid, we know our state aid is. We're not literate. Thank you.
All right, Supervisor McGowan, we're going to move on.
Supervisor Brown, sometimes you get to leave stuff alone.
Okay, just, we're going to continue on.
We good.
Okay. Is there anything else that you need? Would you just make sure that we get that information? Thank you, Mr. David. We'll now go to Mr. Dion Quinn, the Public Works Director. We'll go over several items. And then once you go over your items, then we'll come back to each individual supervisor and see if they have anything that they want. Any questions that they have? Are you ready to swing? Yeah. I'll make a note to get to this table.
Yes, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. First off, Ms. Ava had mentioned before that I'm requesting approval for final acceptance of SAP 25-7. That's Adams Station overlay. That's also a state aid road that was accepted November 22nd, 2023. That would be an action item.
Okay.
Am I correct?
Yes, continue.
All right. Second off, I'm requesting board approval to apply for a federal surface transportation block grant. And in that handout that Ms. Berry is passing out to you, it's just a skinny of what this transportation block grant consists of. And it's broken down to priorities. And priority 1 would be pavement management. Another priority would be congestion mitigation. The second one would be safety improvements. The fourth one would be bridge repair. So with this block grant, I'm focused on 2 items. That's the pavement management as well as the bridge repair management. And I know we all know for sure that anytime we can apply for a grant, let's take that action, and I can see that this grant can possibly benefit the county. specifically paving and bridge repair. The eligible areas, if you look back on your map here, you see a heavy black line. That's your boundary map there that shows the area for this grant. It pretty much on the northern side of it, it is the Kennebrew Road area, and it comes down on the west side of this boundary, and it includes Bolton. And unfortunately, Edwards, it does not include. However, it goes straight down, well, not straight down, but it goes down to Montcure, and then back over to the Pearl River. So you have quite a bit of Hinds County that's in this boundary, and I asked the board to allow us to apply for that grant.
Okay, we'll take it under consideration for the board meeting. Supervisor Dixon?
Mr. Dion, where you come up with these figures at, for District 2, District 3, and District 5? Where you come up with these figures from?
I'm not understanding what figures are you referring to.
Okay.
Is this handout here?
No, this handout of the different roads and trees in January 16th. Where you come up with these figures, these scripts from? This where y'all was in on the storm day?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I hadn't gotten to that point yet. That was road treatment for January 16th. Those are the areas that we treated de-icing. And I just wanted to have a discussion. That was just a discussion item to let you know those are all the roads that we did during that ice period. So it's not, you know, someone reports the road, or if we see some issues, we go out there and take care of it. That's what we have there. That was just a discussion item.
All right, continue.
And also, for an action item, I'm requesting funds for People's Place for stormwater debris disposal, an amount of $75,000, and also requesting funding for additional monies for coal mix and asphalt for a lot of the potholes and overlaying that we're doing. And second off, I think we've discussed this with Supervisor prior to the road and bridge updates. I think we've pretty much gone over that.
Okay, Supervisor Dixon?
You say you're requesting for funds for the storm cleanup on this list we just passed out, am I right?
No, ma'am.
So you're requesting $75,000. For the state of emergency, shouldn't that money have came from the state? It was a state of emergency, so you cleaned up all the debris?
Not all of the debris. We have contractors that will go out and clean up the debris. However, this was put in place prior to, and I want to continue to fund that event.
Well, I'm riding around in 3, and I don't see any debris have been cleaned up in 3. And I would like to get a list of what are you talking about for $75,000. And I also want to give consideration to the list of the potholes you want to ask for request for the $50,000 for the city of Jackson.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, continue.
That's all I have.
Okay, questions from District 2, and then we'll go to District 4 since
Yeah, off Clinton Raymond Road, South North Road.
Yes, sir.
I don't know what happened, but there are huge trees just hanging off the thing, and there's trees on the sides of both roads. This creates a very hazardous condition at night. I'm just looking for that one tree just to fall at any given point in time, and it's pretty sizable. You know, that's a pretty dangerous road. There was a gentleman pinned at a car last time there was a storm because all those trees are dead in that area. You know, you're familiar with what I'm talking about,
I'm familiar with what you're talking about, yes, sir.
Yeah. So I don't know what we need to do for it. We have to contact the owner, or is that something we have to enter into some type of emergency?
Within that right of way, we should be able to take care of that. However, when you come into a situation that you're not an expertise,
Right.
you get expertise reference. And those are the things that we are referring to when something of that nature occurs. You have to use those avenues.
Okay. Now, there are some areas, and I need clarification, being a new supervisor. I noticed that when there's a water leak, and the facility or the community or whoever is responsible for water fixes that leak, whose responsibility is it to make the repair on that road?
They have local water associations that govern those water lines.
I understand that, but once the water line has been repaired, who's actually responsible?
It is the owner of the water line.
Okay, that's what I thought. I just wanted to get some clarification on that one. Again, you guys did a stand-up service in District 2, and I'm gonna come out there and see you guys. I thank you again for your service. I'm looking for some changes in District 2. I think you said 30 days, right? But depending on weather,
yes, sir.
Maybe a little bit longer.
That's correct.
We're going to take approach some of the worst roads. Of course, Champion Hill roads. That's the one I would not go down at night at all.
Right.
Yeah, and then Far roads. So,
Right.
and as far as the trash, I know you've seen that trash on Far Road where they're dumping in the creeks.
That's correct.
Car seats and just
Yes.
the bathtubs, mattresses. And have you seen a major increase since this garbage?
I would say yes.
Yeah.
Yes, a major increase, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Supervisor Evers?
Yes, good morning again, Mr. Quinn.
Good morning.
I'm looking over the request that you have on here, and don't get me wrong, so you requested funding for cold mix and asphalt to assist, this is the word that gets me, to assist with overland and potholes in the city of Jackson.
Yes.
Can you explain that to me?
Yes, ma'am. There are projects that we have to take care of within the city limits, whatever they are.
Within the city limits of, and can you tell me those areas what that is?
I can't be specific with areas, but they include the entire city and county.
It includes the city or the county, which one?
Both.
Now, you requested $75,000 for People's Place storm debris disposal. So,
I didn't hear you.
I see you have asked for $75,000 for the People's Place storm debris disposal in the amount of $75,000. Is this a company that you all use?
Yes, ma'am, one of them.
I'm sorry?
One of the companies that we use, yes, ma'am.
So, is this gonna be an action or?
Are you putting this on for action item?
With that should be an action item to be voted on the next
Action
board
item.
meeting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it. I was just asking.
Okay. Do we have any other questions for Mr. Quinn?
Yes.
Okay. District 2?
Can I get a list of those contractors that for debris removal?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Supervisor.
thank you.
Okay. Ms. Bailey?
I have a question.
Okay.
Mr. Quinn is requesting the $75,000 and the $50,000. Where is he requesting to receive these funds from?
Okay. Mr. Quinn?
The general fund,
That's your general fund. Now, Public Works have their own fund.
correct.
So I
That
just want y'all to
fund,
know that.
that fund often gets depleted, and that's why we request it.
Okay. Ms. Dixon?
They have their own. You said they have their own fund, so we need to see exactly the amount of money that the public work has in their fund as of right now, we're gonna table, the $75,000, I guess we're gonna look at the 50, until this Ms. Berry, we get, actual location and what's going on in the name of the contract, and make sure we get the documentation for every board member. Because people are coming in, asking for money, and doing requests, and they got a dollar amount in here, and they're giving us the documentation the day of, and I think the supervisor deserves to get the documentation. And I appreciate you, stepping up to let us know that they do have their own budget. And I appreciate you letting us know that, so thank you. So we just gonna look at it,
Okay.
and we just need a copy of their fund.
Okay, Supervisor Evans?
Good morning, Ms. Perry.
Good morning.
I would like to know if we can get a copy of each department that we're working with, a copy of their budgets. Because as of right now, we don't have a copy of nothing. And I would just like to see their budgets and what they're spending.
Yes, ma'am, I make plans to get with you.
Yeah, we thank you.
And with you as well.
Yeah, we'd like to know, because everybody's coming in for requests, and you know what they used to do, they don't do it no more. We want to get an itemized accountability of what's going on. We want to listen to the contract, because I think we, the board members, we deserve to know what's going on with the taxpayer money. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Nguyen, and we appreciate you.
Supervisor Brown?
Oh, you have your line up, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you know, my time, that's all. You pay about 2 or 3 different times. I know you got a lot on your mind, but it's my time, okay? Okay, I know you got on about the, doing the weather. Did you have enough salt and, to cover all the roads that you got down here? Because I was out there working too myself, so, and you know, you said there was a discussion, but we had a lot of hills and bridges things that was not, I covered them on that boom storm. But, you have a lot of roads, and in those areas, all the roads did not get covered. So what are you saying? Our discussion to get some, to prepare the next storm, that we want get something to take care of your road. These are some of the roads that you say you covered during this time of the storm. Because a lot of the roads were not covered in my area. You said that for discussion, so we discussed that all.
Yes, sir.
No.
Okay,
Okay.
all right, very good.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll go to the next item. And as we're getting close, I think we're down to Mr. Gaylord, or, well, let me just, Mr. Gaylord, we're going to have to go into executive session. I think we're going to go in there on a couple of things.
There were a few things we discussed during executive session. We will let you know that by the next board meeting, we're hoping to have the ES&S maintenance agreement to place before you all to take a look at. In the meantime, if you all will get with us and Attorney Blackman, discuss any questions that you would have regarding that agreement, so that we can have it ready for you all by the next meeting.
Okay, continue.
We are requesting that the board go close open session.
Well, let me finish with Ms. Berry first. That's the reason why I asked you if you had the executive session item.
Yes.
We'll go to Ms. Berry, and then we'll come back for the executive session items from there. That should be the last thing that we should do, so you can come back out and report on. Ms. Berry, you have 2 or 3 different items, and then okay, we're at Ms. Berry, and then once Ms. Berry, then I think we have a couple of citizens that want to speak, then we go into executive session. That would be the last thing we want to do. Ms. Berry, go ahead.
Good morning, Supervisors and other board members. I am standing for Attorney LaToya Thompson. She's our EO.
Okay.
And on your single page, she was talking about the Hinds County Grant Assistance to Aid Tourism and Hospitality. And so this is a summary of what she was going to explain to you. I'm not going to read it to you. I'll just give it, and you'll have an opportunity to speak with her before the February 5th board meeting.
Okay, we'll take it under consideration.
Okay.
Thank you.
And on the second item is when she came before the board and gave you all a chart on the Community Change Grant Priority Survey. And this is just a result from what the different departments and supervisors gave her. And if you have any questions on that, she'll have an opportunity to speak with you before the board meeting.
Okay, continue.
That completes this.
Okay, we'll now go to the section that deals with citizen issues and concerns. We have Mr. Timothy Lewis. Mr. Lewis, would you come to the podium? You have 5 minutes, excuse me, 3 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. President. I think it's still good morning. Good afternoon. Mr. President, thank you, and honorable board members, thank you for this opportunity to stand before you once again. My name is Timothy Lewis. I'm a 2014 heart transplant recipient, and behind me I have other recipients that will come and introduce themselves and tell you what organ that they have, then I'll come back before you. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is John Wilkerson. I'm a kidney recipient. I got my kidney 2019, July the 7th. I was on dialysis for 4 years, and that's it.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Mosina Crozier. I received a heart transplant in March 6, 2015.
And certainly this is not all of the members of our transplant community that lives here in Hinds County and the state of Mississippi. I want this board to know that there's about 100,000 plus individuals worldwide is on, nationwide that's on this transplant list, waiting for the miracle of transplantation. I was fortunate to receive my transplant in January before, from 10 years out now, carrying somebody else's heart in my chest, a young man from Austin, Texas. And some of you all may know of a relative or a friend or a co-worker who are suffering from organ disability. And I want you to know that your support today of our request will be able to afford this team, Team Mississippi sports team, to be able to go out and bring about awareness and educate people across the state, and not only in our state, but other states, about organ donation and organ transplantation. Since I've been here sitting in this room, I've had the privilege of meeting a young lady, Miss Ray, if you don't mind me calling your name, would you stand? A 2-year-out transplant recipient, and I just want to congratulate her on her survival. We stand before this board today, honestly and sincerely asking for your support once again to support Team Mississippi. You did it so graciously with $2,000 advertising sponsorship back in 2022 when we went to San Diego, California, and we took about 20 individuals there to represent Hinds County in the state of Mississippi. And I want you to know that those 20 individuals came back to our home state and home county with 57 medals, 38 gold medals, 11 silver medals, and 7 bronze medals. And we're standing before you today to ask for your generosity and your compassion once again to support this team to go to Alabama, Birmingham, Alabama, July the 5th through the 10th, and represent this great county and represent this great state with a gold level sponsorship, advertising sponsorship again, with $2,000.
Okay, we will take that request under consideration, and then the county administrator will get back with you. Does any supervisor have any questions you want to ask about Supervisor Everson?
Mr. Lewis, good morning. I think it's still morning. You came to my office a couple weeks ago with this agenda, and I honestly applaud you.
Thank you.
I have an employee that works for 90.1. He has had a heart for 22 years. He has passed the time. Right now, I have a 2-year-old grandbaby that's waiting on a kidney. So I understand what you're doing to help people that's in need. So we're going to definitely take it into consideration, because I would love to try to do my best to help your organization.
Thank you, Supervisor Edwards. And I want this board to know that since my 10-year of having this transplant, I've been able to and afforded to walk 32 people through the transplant process with the University Medical Center. And I'm currently working with a young man out of Colorado and bringing him to Mississippi because he's going to a transplant as well.
Okay, Supervisor Dixon?
I want to also applaud you, what you're doing for the workers government and the county that's going to do whatever they can to help you to get what you need for North Alabama.
Thank you. Okay, thank you very much. We appreciate it, and we will take it under consideration.
Thank you, Supervisor. Thank you, President.
Are there any other people that have signed up to speak? I think there's a Miss Ray. Okay, the lady that's raising her hand, have you signed up? There's a county administrator. Okay. Ms. Ray, good morning. You have 5 minutes. Go ahead.
Yes, good morning. First of all, I'd like to say to Mr. Cynthia Ray, R-A-Y.
Okay.
It's funny that I just happened to be here with when Mr. Lewis was here. I think we all have more people who have had transplants that they don't realize that they have friends that they have had that have them. I had a genetic disorder and received my liver transplant, as he said, 2.5 years ago, and I am doing well. It does cause some disabilities. It's not, you just don't get an organ and you're done. There are still some things that happen, but you just keep pushing forward. The reason I'm here today, first of all, I want to thank the supervisors for the acknowledgement that they were kind of handed this situation with waste management. And personally, Supervisor Graham, I have spoke to you almost every day, and I appreciate your time and patience, and I appreciate you returning every phone call that I have made to you. I think everyone understands this frustration with waste management. I would appreciate it if Mr. Holloway, if he is still in the hall, would step in.
He's here.
Oh, Mr. Holloway, thank you, great. There was a comment about it was extra cost. It cost us to get the extra can $11.20. I can understand the can costing more money. What I don't understand is the extra time. I watched my trash man yesterday. It took 3 seconds for that arm to grab it and dump it. So extra time, 6 seconds for 2 cans. I pay $3,500 a year in property tax. And now I'm getting half the service. So I think that there could be a little bit more of a leeway. I could pay for the can. I could pay for the can outright, but I shouldn't be charged once a month for the service. The dump site that they're talking about adding to different counties is great for the able-bodied person, but it's not able for the elderly. The elderly cannot load their trash up, drive it to a dump site. I personally am not allowed to drive anymore. I have seizures from my transplant medication, so I'm disabled. I cannot drive. I had to Uber here. I had other plans this morning, but this was important, so I spent $61 just to Uber here to come talk, and just one way. So those dump sites, although they might be great for certain people, they're not great for the whole population of Hinds County. There was another issue on Greens Crossing Road since this has gone into effect. The dumping has gotten much worse. When I came here, I passed tires, I passed appliances, I passed dogs. I can't get people to pick up the dogs they dump out in my county. I can't get anything done. My road that I have lived on, I've lived on for 25 years, and it not once, and it is a state aid road, has been resurfaced. While all the other ones around me have been. They have fixed the potholes, but the road has never been resurfaced. And I called, and they, well, once in a while, the sheriff's department will come out because it is a no truck road. Now, we have all the trucks going down to the dump, but it used to be a weight limit road, now it is a no truck road. But when the sheriff's department comes out and they make 1 or 2 loops every 7 months, it's not going to stop the traffic. We go, and we have to do something, it's destroying our road. The Uber driver this morning told me that he didn't want to drive down that road anymore. So then what am I doing? Now I'm going to be homebound. And I'm not the only one. I'm not just speaking on behalf of myself. There has to be other people that are in the same situation. But back to my original problem with the trash cans. I understand change, and you mentioned we don't want to change. I have no problem with the change. I have a problem with not being asked, not being allowed to voice my opinion until I come here, until after the contract's signed and it's done. I don't feel like we as citizens were given the opportunity to address anybody, and now we're just stuck with the devil a deal that was made with the devil, so to speak. And we have no other, but I'm going to stand and have my voice heard, just as the gentle lady said. I'm going to speak out, and I'm not going to go down until I go down fighting. It just doesn't, my road is 2/10 of a mile. I cannot drag that 56-gallon trash bin up to the road. I had to hire somebody to do it. I had to get kids in the neighborhood to do it. It's too big, it's too awkward.
Okay, what we'd like to do now is allow Mr. Holloway an opportunity to respond.
Thank you. But I want to thank you again, Supervisor Graham, for your help.
Thank you. Then we're going to protect you. Well, hold on, before you leave, let me see if there's any board member that has any questions of you, and then we'll let Mr. Holloway respond. Any board members has a question?
Greens Crossing Road, it's 4.5 miles long.
It's Greens Crossing is off of 49, it's in District 1.
First paved road past the Light Up Country Club, I believe.
Supervisor Evers?
That was the same question I was going to ask.
Okay, all right.
I thought it might
No, it's in District 1. Okay. Any other questions? All right, thank you very much for coming down. Now we'll give Waste Management an opportunity to respond.
The response would be the 3 seconds. A truck picks up an average of 1,800 homes a day. That's what they pick up. So 3 seconds added to that adds more time. And on top of that, we have to go to the landfill. Have to come in and dump more. The more garbage you pick up, the more you get. It's more costly.
Okay.
I'm paying the same taxes for half the service.
All right, Mr. Holloway, is there any way that you can get with the citizen and try to see exactly what we can possibly change that would be satisfactory to them as it relates to this issue?
I would rather work with the board and always come to the same
Okay,
thing.
well, we'll do that, but if you would just stand back for a minute, because I think we have a couple more that's coming up that would like to voice their opinion as it relates. But before that, we have a Mrs. Golden that would like to come up and speak, and I think her issue is regarding polling locations. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, if you come in, you have 5 minutes, please. Good morning. I have down just a little bit closer so we can hear you.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Okay. I had a few concerns. I had quite a bit of questions, and maybe I can follow up with you all probably afterwards, because I don't want to take up too much time, but I will ask a few. What was the process to determine where to relocate the polling locations?
Which polling location?
Just in general, the ones here in Hinds County. I know your last meeting, what was it, Raymond 1 and 2? They were merged. What was that process with changing or relocating those polling locations?
Okay, well, I know the Supervisor Evers will respond to that, but first of all, there is a state statute that allows the supervisors to make that decision, but Supervisor Evers.
So you want to know what was...
Yeah, just basically the process. It was just, I know you all had the meeting and I viewed it and I watched everything, but I was just concerned of like what was the actual process, like how does that process work, so that if we have like citizens that are asking like what are the processes, because I work with Mississippi Votes, and so I have citizens that come in and they're asking like what was the process of changing these locations, because sometimes they're abrupt and they are not notified. So I mean, that's a question that I have down of like what are the steps and what is the process of that?
Well, the steps are we contact the state of Mississippi, and once we get the okay, we work with the election commissioners to let them know that we are moving or changing the locations.
Okay. Okay, and what efforts for those new locations that are coming about or that will come about, what efforts are made to ensure that the new locations are ADA accessible?
We have already been out there, they are ADA accessible.
Okay.
And this is one reason why we changed those locations, so they would have more room and more access, especially with handicapped individuals.
Yes, ma'am. And will these new locations be entered into SIMS? And how can we assure that they are reflected in the Secretary of State's online polling site locator?
Yes, they will be in the SIMS. Okay. Secretary of State, we have already got all that taken care of.
Okay, I just have a few more questions and that's fine.
That's fine.
The audit that Election Commissioner Ms. Bonner requested, what exactly is that process for that audit, and like what information and materials are being audited for the 2021, 22, and I believe she said 23 as well?
I can answer that. We have not received that information from her as to what's going to be in the audit and what's requested. So once we get that information, then we'll make sure that the public knows. But right now, we don't have exactly what she wants or what she's looking for. It will be a general audit.
Okay.
But if she wants something specific, then she'll be able to place it in there. We have a comment from Supervisor Dixon.
A lot of things that have been state statute and a lot of things have changed. A lot of these precincts have to be ADA compliant, they have to be air conditioned. If you was here earlier, I think P. Perry read the statute.
Yeah,
if you would like for me to get Barbara Blackman to read the statute to you on some of these precincts. A lot of those precincts are in walking condition. And a lot of those precincts have to be a standard code, because if we don't do something, the Hinds County Supervisor can be sued, just like you for your nonprofit that you say you work for. There's certain stuff that we have to do too. And like he was saying earlier, a lot of them, if you have a list of the precinct, you can see how close some of them is and some of them not. And I used to represent the Raymond area. And when you go in there and vote in Raymond, you can see them cutting up all kind of food in there, if you know that. I think that's a health hazard in that condition anyway. So some of the stuff that we're going to change up on the new boards, we're going to bring everything up to state law code.
Yes, ma'am.
If you would like for me to get Barbara to read the statute on you for your nonprofit, we sure can do that. You want her to read it to you?
Not at this time, but the reason why we're asking is because sometimes I've gone to the election commissioners to try to get answers, you all are here, so I'm asking to get answers because I have not been provided those answers, and none of my coalitions have been provided those answers. So it's not to dig or, you know, demean anything that you all are doing. You all are doing great work. However, we're just trying to find answers so that we have answers for the citizens.
So we're doing a study on these different precincts, and I think he explained to you, it's certain ones. A lot of them, they're really not voting in, and, you know, people sitting there all day long and there's no air. They can't use the bathroom. So we try to do a better working condition for the people that get out and vote. And that's what they do for space. Because I just know for some areas, even like in Clinton, we got one precinct and 4,000 people can go vote in that one precinct. I think in addition, we got 2 million, and some of these precincts that we close and merge together, it will help the election commission out. It will help the people out, you know, in the near future. Because I do know even over there off of Raymond Road, what you call, the subdivision called the park, they leave way from Raymond Road to go to Greater Bethel and vote, which is about 6 or 7, 8 miles. So I think we're trying to do the best interest of the people and the citizens of Hinds County, because we do know there's a lot of precincts, a lot of issues that's going up the state code, and that's what we're trying to come up to. Because if you was watching last year, you know, some schools are closing.
That's true.
And we're trying to merge some of it together before it happens, so we won't get in a bind, and that's what we're working on. And some of the people don't want those precincts, and you know in my district, I know in my area, I got probably 7 precincts in Washington district. So we try to do the best to bring everything up to code and better. And I think, you know, the statute even saying we're gonna be moving some over because they don't want to be in the fire station. So it's some more changes we need to do with the state statute.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Supervisor Evers?
I'm good.
Okay, all right. If there are no other questions from anyone else, then you have another question? Okay, good.
I attended the election commissioner's last meeting. Their website is not up to date as you all's are. I'm not sure if you all have any control over like how they can get their updated meetings on there. But however, nonetheless, in that meeting, it was stated that you all are responsible, you all as in the board, are responsible for the primary election that's coming up. And there were several, or quite a few of the election commissioners that were there that said that they would not be participating in the primary election, but they would only be participating in the general election in November.
Okay, I can answer that with Supervisor. We are familiar with that. We heard that. We have an attorney that's working with them, that's working on that. This is not anything new to us. We're working for a resolution right now as it relates to what they're saying. Contrary to belief, the supervisors are not responsible for a primary election. It's the parties. And we can get with you and kind of get some of those questions answered through Ms. Blackman, but we had a meeting on that just yesterday.
Okay.
And we're familiar with all the things that's going on. We're working through a contract and trying to get things to where everybody will be in a happy place when it comes to the upcoming election.
Yes, sir, and that's why I was asking, because I just wanted to know who was actually responsible, so moving forward, we would know like who we would need to work with and contact. I can leave my contact information with you all's office for a follow-up meeting, if that would be fine.
Supervisor Dixon?
Barbara, can you come and explain to her some of the process of who's involved and what, let her know what the board is not responsible for, since you've been working on those projects. Can you come explain that? She will explain it to you.
You want me to take my seat or?
Oh, the attorney's going to explain it to you.
Okay, good morning. Yes, still good morning. President, Vice President, Supervisors. The Hinds County Election Commission is responsible for our elections, for the general election. The Democratic Executive Committee and the Republican Executive Committee are responsible for the primary elections. The Board of Supervisors make the decision as to where the precincts are located. And I know and each time that those decisions are made, you see them in the newspaper, they're online, and the Chancery Clerk, the Circuit Clerk, once the Board of Supervisors makes changes to the precincts, then that is uploaded to SIMS so that the citizens in those particular precincts will know where they are to go. The Hinds County Election Commission notifies the voter as to where they are to go.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. We have a couple more speakers. Citizens that have issues or concerns. Mrs. Jenny Griffin. Okay. We'll have 5 minutes.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
This is my first time actually attending a supervisor session, and we got a lot of work to do, and I applaud all of you guys for your efforts. But I just recently moved to Pocahontas. I've lived in the city of Jackson all my adult life, October 1st. And just want some clarity on three simple things. I believe, President Graham, and you correct me if I'm wrong, back in the election process, you informed us the entrance into Pocahontas, that I maybe I misheard you, that that area was going to be addressed August the 4th. I thought I heard that, and we just wanted an update on that. When can we expect? Or Mr. Quinn, if you know anything about it, because it floods there. It's actually embarrassing
the person that knows about it is Tommy Avent, and construction.
Project too.
Yeah, the construction was supposed to begin on January 3rd.
Of this year?
They're running behind as it relates to the weather.
Okay.
The money was given to us to repair that part from the state of Mississippi.
Okay.
The design has already been done. They're waiting on the weather. They being IMS, they've already been assigned to do the project. You're talking there at the railroad track?
Yes, sir.
So where they're going to come in and level the railroad tracks and create ditches on both sides, and where it will no longer flood. That's on, it's on schedule. About 2 months ago, we have a new notification process in Hinds County. I sent out a notification emailing the schedule to everyone, or not emailing, I'm sorry, texting the schedule to everyone that had a cell phone in Pocahontas that we had that particular name to.
Okay.
If you did not reach that, or that text did not reach to you, just call my office and make sure that your telephone number is on that text, and we can send out an additional schedule to what's happening, when it's supposed to happen. But we are about 3 weeks behind schedule, and it's due to the weather. But continue.
Do you know what that time frame is for the project?
I have a time frame. You can go leave and go right up to the second floor of my office. In fact, I had that on my to-do list.
Okay.
And I have it on my desk, and you can get a copy of the timetable as to when and how long it's going to take to get it done.
Okay. Thank you so much. And I think this was for Mr. Quinn. Did I say that right?
Yes, ma'am.
On Lanewood, the properties I would think probably value at $250,000 to $300,000. And I have been traversing that area. I've been visiting that area for over 20 years. And the entrance from Coker Road and Green Crossing Road, they are deplorable. And I'm not trying to put you on the spot. I'm a facilities girl. I worked in the facilities industry for over 30 years myself. But I don't understand, just trying to get an understanding, the frequency, or is there a schedule in place where we as citizens can expect that if it's once a year, if it's twice a year, just some simple communication as to, I have some pictures for you too, to look at, and how do we need to get involved to help out with this process? Because that is pretty embarrassing when you come home every day. And I just moved there October 1st. I can only imagine. I'm talking about, it's dormant now. And I heard one of the previous supervisors say that you guys have purchased this arm that can go out like in the ditches and all those areas and clean that up. What is your winter schedule? because we haven't seen you in that area. You know, I know you got priorities, I know you got a huge county to cover, and my heart goes out to you. But we just want to know, just communicate with us and let us know, because you're talking about tires, mattresses, it's almost like, I hate to say a third world country, and these people are going to have property values in excess of $200,000, $300,000.
I understand your concern, and
If you would come to the podium, would you speak if you would with that? And also, as it relates to that, illegal dumping is a problem all over the city, all over the county. Each board member is doing everything that they can to address it. Where you can't really throw money at it all the time and fix it, because we can get people to come out and pick it up. It's back there in the next couple of weeks, but we're not going to give up. But we're trying to develop a strategy. We will apply for a grant as it relates to try to get some of these things picked up. Public Works is applying for a grant. The Board of Supervisors is applying for a grant. There's a federal grant that we're looking at in excess of $20 million to just address this particular problem.
I know what you're saying about the paper. I'm talking about the cutting. If we can cut it down, put some rounders or something to keep it down.
We're also addressing that because we just received a list last week of all of the locations in the county that need to be bush hogged, and we just got that from state aid, and that list was given to Mr. Quinn.
Excuse me, Supervisor, would you like to allow another 1 or 2 minutes for Mr. Quinn to answer the question?
Yes, go ahead.
as of right now, during the winter season, we have a campaign that addresses your issue. Our focus is shoulder cutting, bush hog cutting, side, well, it's called side arm cutting. With that arm that reaches out, cut back all your vegetation. So when the cutting season comes, now you have your bush hog just to cut because everything is out of the way. So we do have a campaign, and that's considered our winter campaign. And that's for all of the districts.
So when you say campaign, you're talking about preventive maintenance?
That's correct.
Okay. Yeah. That's the jargon I'm used to. But what I'm saying to you, I'm talking about stuff I've seen. I'm not talking about just recent stuff. The ends, they're not. I'll give it to you afterwards. I have some pictures I'll show you. We can talk about it.
Okay. All right.
And finally, for waste management, I have a question. And I worked in the facilities industry for a while, so I had an opportunity to work with waste management. But yesterday I had an opportunity. I was taking pictures of the grain crossing area, and I saw the new truck come in. How many trucks do you run? Are you guys running in the
general area?
Yeah.
58 to 62.
Are the new trucks with the arms?
Oh, no, we only have 5 of them.
Okay. So when I observed the guy, once he got the truck in position, it took 3 to 5 seconds. Which is a serious done. So from an efficiency standpoint, you guys should have saved an enormous amount of time with that one driver, the truck. And I said that to say this, my point is actually twofold. You got to be incurring or countering some savings somewhere. Because it only took him 3 to 5 seconds. The arm goes, if you guys watch it, once it pulls up, 3 to 5 seconds. But if you had 2 people, which you used to have two guys on the truck, that's about 5 minutes.
Okay, we're kind of pushing for, excuse me 1 second. We're kind of pushing for a little time, so I want to give everybody else an opportunity to speak as well.
Okay, well, but just from an efficiency standpoint, I just wanted for you to consider that, with the amount of time that's taken out, you cut your time considerably. I understand the employees and all that kind of stuff that you're going back and forth with that, the manpower paying the demands is high, but the supply is low. So how can you, well then I was thinking, if you increase your frequencies to 2 days as opposed to that 1 day, should we not encourage the savings where you can do it twice a week?
No.
In that?
No.
You can't at all? Okay, I'll let talk about that. And the second thing was, does the truck with the arm, can it hold a smaller dumpster, a smaller can, where the constituents could actually pull that? Does it have to have that weight?
It can handle a small.
Okay, let's try to finish it on the outside if we can.
Okay, you said I could talk to him on the outside?
Yes, that's right.
Okay, so I didn't know I could.
Okay.
Okay, all right, thank you all.
All right, thank you. I think we have another person that would like, is there anybody else that we missed on our list? If there's no one else, is there anybody that we missed, Ms. Okay, if there's nobody on our list, then we'll have the board attorney come back up and ask for permission to go from regular session to